Hey guys. AskReddit is a place for the most thoughtful of discussions and anecdotes on the internet. Here are the best questions and answers of November. Let's get into it. What are some harmless ways to fuck with people? I mispronounce famous people's names constantly, then say it correctly randomly so they never know what to expect. Billie Eilish, John Legends, Jason Ackles. If you ever have a moment with their computer or cell phone, use their search engine to look for a bunch of nonsense products and then erase the search history. The algorithm will think they have an interest in said products and put a bunch of ads recommending them for the next few days. There was a story on Reddit a while back where a guy was refilling his wife's ketchup bottle so that it was constantly almost empty. For months, years, she would use the same bottle and he waited for the day she noticed that it never emptied. She bounced the bottle off his head when he revealed his game. Edit. I found it looks like it was only for a few weeks. Still a fun read. When at work, tell someone I'm going to the bathroom. Do you need anything?
We argue about pizza toppings all the time, but what burger crimes have you witnessed? Burgers that are too tall. I don't want to dislocate my jaw eating that thing. Make burgers wide, not tall. Having toppings that make the bun soggy or just fall off when you try to take a bite out of it. Tiny burger and huge buns. Those stupid food porn burgers where they pour melted cheese all over the bloody thing. There's a burger joint that the owner chef was kind of a burger Nazi. 1 can't alter the burger with substitution, not additional toppings. 2 can't cook it anyway except for Medwell. 3 can't cut it. The waitress actually told me if he sees a customer cut his burger he'll ask they never come back again. Cheeseburger but with sweet blueberries inside the patties.
What YouTube channel do you watch to relax? Steve Wallace. Does Steve Camping seems like a down-to-earth guy, never disappointed. Wendy Goon. Primitive technology is great for this. Monterey Bay Aquarium, I think it's called. They have 24/7 live streams of a bunch of different animal enclosures. The otters are probably my favorite. Bob Ross or ASMR of selected ones. Girl with the Dogs. Steve the guy who reviews MREs. MK Orkwhite. Now read anyone? Gray still plays in Let's Game It Out. Half as interesting. Wendover Productions. Real life lore, etc. The charismatic voice. Music but explained. Daily dose of internet. Slow-mo guys. I like cooking channels. They're just going through steps in a recipe. They're usually calm and entertaining. Agadmator's Chess Channel. Solo Travel. Kuga's Travel.
What is 25 years too old for? Sleeping in the car and waking up in your bed. Lack of accountability. Leading people on. No one has time for that shit after 25. It's hard enough out there in the dating game, and holding someone down when they could be pursuing someone else is a dick move. Looking down on stuff you liked as a teen because you're too old for it. Not being able to do basic chores yourself and relying at parents' partners to do them for you. I think I read too many iters. The swing with the leg holes at the park. Not cleaning up after yourself. Too young to die. And too old to eat off the kids' menu. What a stupid age for starting a career as a competitive gymnast.
What is best done naked? Photosynthesis. It's never completely done. Taking a shower. Grocery shopping. Freeze up the checkout lines very quickly. Public speaking. Swimming. Driving. Tried it a couple of times. Very liberating. Saunas. Being birthed. Riding the subway to Coney Island. Welding. Being painted like a French girl. Frying bacon. Going for a run. It'll be breezy and you won't have resistance from clothes. Sleep. Sleeping in the nude is the best way to sleep. Getting dressed. Attending family reunions. Sleeping. Change my mind. Playing ping pong. Seriously, what isn't? Party face. Sex. Fighting. I rather not share what first came into my mind, but taking a shower. Ops mom. Not sleepwalk outside in the city. Stepping into a black hole. Appearing in court. Voting. Cuddling. Swimming. Dancing. How do you cope with depression? Poorly. Weed, anime and alcohol. Try not to have a free time. I started going to the gym. The gym quite likely saved my life. It has given me so much self-confidence and taught me to not be soft. Furthermore, it developed my social skills and lessened my social anxiety, which worsened my feelings. I had a full-on breakdown a few years ago after my dad died suddenly, and I have been uncertainly ever since. If anyone is suffering, then I'd recommend speaking to a trained professional. Various types of medication and dosages can take a bit of adjusting and patience, and may not work straight away. I'm glad I got help though. Best thing I ever did. I got a cat. He seriously pulled me out of a bad spot. One day at a time. Dark humor, mostly. Get on your bikes and ride. Throttle therapy. Atheists or religious people open to conversation. What are some things about a certain religion that, while they mean well, do you think are harmful? When they try to save you from going to hell simply because they think you're a goner. I also don't like the fact that they think those who don't have a religion or different beliefs have no morals. Since how could we without a religion? Like, come on, use your brain, man. It's called using rational and just being an okay person, not wanting to do anything bad. Using fear as a weapon for manipulation. Fear of hell, to be more specific. Especially for kids. Like, if you act naughty, you'll spend all eternity burning in hell. Believe what you want, but stop trying to apply your religious moral standards to anyone but yourself.
Do you agree that people who post videos of themselves doing something nice or wear free sneakers are just chasing clout? Why or why not? Lower virtue is so self-conscious that it is not virtue. Alan Watts. I do. There's literally no righteous reason to do so. It's not like there's a lack of awareness that nice things could and should be done. I also find it extremely disrespectful to film people and put it online without their permission, which just about all of these instances do without fail. And presuming the likelihood of somebody homeless being mentally ill is increased, it is borderline predatory in those cases.
How do you cope with depression? Poorly. Weed, anime and alcohol. Try not to have a free time. I started going to the gym. The gym quite likely saved my life. It has given me so much self-confidence and taught me to not be soft. Furthermore, it developed my social skills and lessened my social anxiety, which worsened my feelings. I had a full-on breakdown a few years ago after my dad died suddenly, and I have been uncertainly ever since. If anyone is suffering, then I'd recommend speaking to a trained professional. Various types of medication and dosages can take a bit of adjusting and patience, and may not work straight away. I'm glad I got help though. Best thing I ever did. I got a cat. He seriously pulled me out of a bad spot. One day at a time. Dark humor, mostly. Get on your bikes and ride. Throttle therapy. If there was a vote for one person to receive immortality, who would win? If memory serves, there's a guy whose DNA contains a mutation that makes his blood a treatment for some deadly disease. I don't remember the particulars, but he gives blood basically as often as practical and has already saved something like 2 million lives. That guy, most likely the most undeserving asshole possible. Really comes down to who would you want to live with. Keith Richards, my old boss, Hamish. So he can watch humanity go extinct and have a miserable eternity. That dude in India with the feeding program feeding 2 million kids a day or something. Me. WTF? I would vote for my worst enemy as a punishment. You won't be able to rest and will see all the people you love die, one after the other, even your own children, and the children of your children, in a non-stop everlasting nightmare.
If you saw someone carrying an AR-15 walking across a parking lot toward a big store or a mall, what would you do? Go the other way. Call 911 as I go the opposite direction. Get in my car and leave. Call 911 and get the hell out of there, possibly simultaneously. I'm a gun owner, but I'd call 911 to give them a heads up. Open carrying is one thing, but open carrying walking with a purpose like that, lol. Context clues. As I live in Germany, I would immediately call the police. Because openly carrying an AR-15 is a violation of the Kriegswaffenkontrollgesetz law about the control of weapons of war, I guess. Call 911. I'm in Texas, so it's not normal by any means, just a tad out of place. Call the cops and leave ASAP. If you're bilingual or multilingual, what language do you think in? Depends on what in doing. English, unless I'm stressed, then it turns to German for some reason. My thoughts are 50-50 German-English actually. I was born to immigrants, refugees. German was my first language, then I learned Spanish and English in kindergarten. If I am doing things from my childhood or talking to those people, my brain flips to German. The latter half of my life is thought in English with a scattering of choice German words. I often catch myself thinking in English even though my first language is Hebrew. I speak 3 languages and it's dependent on what I'm currently using, then I'm thinking in that language too.
Introvert people. What are some annoyingness extrovert people do? Inviting people from other social circles unannounced. Yo, why are you always so quiet? Talk constantly without saying anything. Ruin enjoyable moments with conversation. It's okay to let there be 30 seconds of silence. There isn't a void that needs to be filled because you have to constantly talk. Disrespect boundaries of an introvert thinking I can change you. Talk, then pause for a second to ask you a question, which you will start to answer, until they cut you off and tell you what your answer is, how you feel about whatever the question was. Are you tired? Well, no. Wow, yeah, you're so tired. No, Yeah, you should get some sleep. Assume you're not friendly or sociable because your energy is less aggressive than theirs. Putting an introvert in the spotlight by pointing out how quiet they are. John, you are so quiet. Awkward silence.
Men of Reddit, what are some less obvious red flags about men you would want to caution women against? Don't ever be fooled by how a man treats you. Look at how he treats unattractive women and other men. So about his last 3 relationships and why they ended. If it is always the girl was crazy, it's him, he's crazy. I'm coming in late, but this is something I've tried to teach all my daughters. Men will show you how they feel with their actions. If they say they care, but don't put in the effort, listen to the actions. Not the words. Good advice for dating, but also good advice for life really. Many men only know how to relationship flirt. They will say things like "I'm looking for something long-term" when really they just want to hook up. Night owls, what is the creepiest thing happened to you when everyone else was sleeping? Someone tried to open the front door of the house that I am staying at. It was around 2-3 a.m. and sometimes people in the house forget to lock. Safe to say, I could not sleep the whole night. Giant earthquake struck and absolutely shook the entire house. I thought the shaking was coming from a guy knocking on the front door, cause the first thing to make a sound was the front door shaking. I'll keep it short and creepy. I was 11 or 12 at the time in my room alone at night, don't remember what I was doing. The window was open behind the blinds. I heard 2 men's voices right outside and one says, "Not now, she's still awake." Reddit, what's your most time with the boomers on this opinion? Touch screens in cars are a fundamentally bad idea. Physical buttons or similar controls need to be brought back. Distracted driving is at an all-time high. Touchscreen controls literally require you to take your eyes off the road and can create a longer time of inattention due to their complexity. I have an old-ass car with physical controls. I can do dang near anything: radio, climate control, etc. without taking my eyes off the road and in much less time. Most people don't train their dogs well enough because they treat them like children, then they can't handle them when they're reactive and put people and other dogs in danger. I want a human customer service operator, not an automated operator or chatbot.
What are your best fighting tips? Run, and if you have to fight, don't play fair. I'm assuming that you didn't start the fight, are in self-defense mode, and the best option of avoiding the fight altogether is not an option. Go with the mentality that there are no rules, at all. Use any and all tools, resources, dirty tricks to end the fight as fast and decidedly as possible. No rules in a street fight. If there's more than one, you'll lose. Best thing you can do is choose one of them and ruin his day in particular. Don't get involved in fights. Hire drill bit tailor to train you. Don't. And failing that, cheat. There is no honor in death. Pocket sand.
What did the pandemic ruin more than we realize? Night shift people lives. Nothing is ever open late anymore. Used car market is completely fucked, as are flight prices. Feels like it's a more to each their own sense of living. People don't appear to be as connected as before the pandemic. Price of eating out. No school on snow days. It ruined me on traffic. For one glorious year, as an essential worker, I had the roads almost entirely to myself. It was beautiful. My perception on money. I worked so hard to pay off debt, save up for a new house, get promotions. Now with the rise of housing costs and inflation, I feel like money is literally such a made-up thing and I have no control over anything, even with all the right decisions. What do you think about removing "In God We Trust" from American money? Till it's only been on there since 1957. I don't care whether it's there or not, tbh. I'm atheist, I don't believe in any god. But 4 words are hardly on my to-do list for America. I'm all for it, but don't waste money removing existing references. This isn't a battle worth fighting to me. So many other religious intrusions that matter way more. I think it's justified, but it's definitely not my primary concern. You know what is a primary concern of mine, though? The inclusion of religion in politics and government. It shouldn't be there, but on my list of things that need to be changed, this is way down the list. We need to take God out of the Supreme Court and the legislatures first. What has a 0 chance of happening? Me getting proper sleep and wake up not being exhausted. World peace. Prices permanently going back to the way it used to be 5 years ago. The Beatles reuniting on Earth. The perfect dick pic. I can't think of a single thing that has a 0 or 100 chance. Humans, stop killing each other. Me getting laid. You not looking at this comment right now. Me going skydiving. You couldn't even pay me to do that. Somebody randomly DM me. Only way I get DMs is if I seek somebody out and message them first. Me getting married. Not in this day and age. A different ending for Revenge of the Sith. Pensive face. Me finding love. Me making someone laugh from a joke I made and not me acting like a complete idiot. Me being happy lol. What is the best comeback to I fucked your mom? Congratulations. Now you have disappointed two mothers. I'm not longer her biggest disappointment. Yeah, she's been whining about the shit you left all over her strap-on. So that's where the ashes went. Looks like we're even then. You should get tested. Damn, you brought a shovel and everything? I wondered why she kept laughing every time she saw a peanut. Nice, I was just gonna go fuck yours. Does she still have the 2-for-1 special? Cool, now I don't feel bad about letting your dad blow me. Great. Now we're tunnel buddies. I beat you to it. She told me about it. She also wants her money back. Go for the double whammy. Say how's my cum taste? Confusion and trauma in one go. Dad, my condolences. What is the meaning of I want a boyfriend like you? But not you? You have qualities that I value highly in a partner, but I don't feel the necessary physical sexual attraction spark with you. They aren't attracted to you, but you have really great qualities. You should go with the positive view. You are boyfriend material, but not for that person. Good on you. Move on and find the person you are boyfriend material for. You have the right traits to be a boyfriend, but not for that person. It could be that you also have one of their deal breakers, or that they're not attracted to you in that way. Or even that they like someone else. Bad news, highly likely will not happen with this person. Good news, you have positive traits that someone will appreciate. It means she's not sexually attracted to you.
What life-changing purchase can you make with less than $100? Good pillows. Electric toothbrush. I'll never go back to a manual. As someone who has problems falling asleep, seriously. A pink noise generator. I don't know if it will work for everyone, but for me it works 1,000 times better than a white noise generator. I didn't realize that it worked so well until one day I forgot to turn it on and was staring into the void for hours unable to fall asleep. Best $20 ever spent. A tracker for my keys, like Tyler Air Tag. This has saved me from being late countless times. A weighted blanket. 2 pet ducks. You may be tempted to go for one. But trust me. You need to. And you'll have about $76 left over. B-Day. What song is universally known? Some. Happy Birthday. It's the final countdown. Stomp Stomp Clap. Bohemian Rhapsody. Macarena. Pachelbel's Canon and D. Deep down, every human knows it, even those who haven't heard it before. This is why when you listen to it for the first time, it feels like you found something long lost. Never gonna give you up. Take on me, aha. Apparently even the North Koreans are aware of the song and okay it on their accordions. Wedding theme. Eye of the Tiger. Thriller. Michael Jackson. The one Korean song with the guy in sunglasses. What's it called again? Waka Waka. Drunken Sailor. Shakira Shakira. Feliz Navidad de Jose Feliciano. ABBA Dancing Queen. Oppa Gangnam Style. Human Music. Seeing how it's almost Christmas season. Jingle Bells. Never gonna give you up. We don't need no education.
What things do Americans like and the rest of the world not so much? College sports. Particularly football and basketball. The rest of the world loves soccer, but nobody gives a hoot about it at the university level. Root beer and ranch dressing. I brought some to Germany and had my friends try it, and they said the root beer tasted like medicine. They politely tasted the dressing with a celery and said interesting, but the look on their faces was that it was terrible. Ice. Fill till the brim before you pour any drink. Root beer. Cheerleaders. My sister is visiting the US from Europe and sent me a picture of a small Coke and asked why is it so big? I could see Old Glory flapping in the wind. Boys. What's a hill you're willing to die on every time? Health insurance should cover the whole body. The fact that vision and dental are separate things is a pure cash grab. Repeal Citizen United. Nothing to discuss. Politicians should have to list where every freaking dollar comes from. Public libraries are undervalued by many. Use a goddamned turn signal. Children beauty pageants are creepy as fuck, and parents who subject their children to such scrutiny and judgment are crazy, and don't deserve children. People are completely fine with immoral, morally grey actions as long as it's someone they like doing it. Radio stations should play more than 250 songs. What's something expensive you thought was cheap when you were a kid? Lego. I realize now all the sacrifice my dad had to do to give us the Christmas presents. Food. Dippin' Dots. How is it $5 for a tiny bowl? I'd if it's inflation or what, but wow, that shit is insane. Trash cans. Like literally why? It's a bin with a lid. Why do some of them cost upwards of $100? Kitchen chairs. Everybody's got them somehow, but try going out and buying 6 new kitchen chairs that match instead of the janky hodgepodge of seats you've collected over the years since college. Shit's prohibitively expensive.
What's the most overrated drink? Martinis. They will call anything a martini. If any bar serves 30 types of martinis, that means their customers don't actually like a martini. The cask of Amontillado. It sounds appealing, but you'll probably be walled in for drinking it. Added for anyone needing an explanation. Link. Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. Ipecac. Slurm. Fight Milk, the first alcoholic dairy-based protein drink for bodyguards by bodyguards. I drink it every morning so I can fight like a crow. In reality, it's a diarrhea drink that made Saron and Felder shit and vomit their brains out. And it's not the official drink of the UFC. G Fuel is just caffeinated Kool-Aid. You kids are getting ripped off. Negronis Bagliato with Prosecco, and not a huge fan of cum. Four Loko. People drank it all the time in high school and it tastes like ass. What's your current addiction? Nicotine, the gym, and being on my fucking phone all day. My effing phone. I can't stop daydreaming while listening to music. I love creating scenario in my head. Pedro Pascal. He has rotted my brain. No thoughts, just Pedro. This fucking phone. Social media and Reddit. I kicked Takis by moving to a country that doesn't sell them. It was the only way. I cannot stop eating samosas. Fast food. That shit is hard to get off of. Caffeine and THC.
Which sports have the most potential for women to be competing with men? Shooting or horse riding are quite popular. Bobsled. The Olympics just officially mixed it. Darts. Archery. Curling. Long distance cold water swimming. The only person ever to swim the English Channel 4 times in a row is a woman, and the most famous and accomplished distance swimmers are Lynn Cox and Diana Nyad. Bowling, motorsport, archery, sport shooting, piloting. Archery. In terms of physical sports, rock climbing is quite equal as far as I know. They currently compete equally with men and equestrian sports. Equestrian sports, horse riding. If the question is what can women beat men at, long distance swimming has events where women's records beat the men's. With the first video game now being 50 years old, what was the first video game you ever played? Pong Edit. This got me thinking about the first must-have video game I wanted, and it was Pitfall. Mario Brothers on the NES. Pong. At the time the coolest game ever. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, great game which aged pretty well, still big fan to the series with 32. Tetris. Super Mario 64. I was so bad that I could not succeed the first level. Bubble Bobble on the C64. Duck Hunt. Pitfall. Atari 2600. Space Invaders. Nukem, for the Trash 80. Final Fantasy X for the PS2. Wind Waker on GameCube.
Women of Reddit, what's one thing all men should know about periods? That even if they don't hurt, they can be debilitating. I used to get anemia every month, along with a headache. I'm glad I'm old. You can get horrible bowel issues with your period, weird cravings, migraine headaches. And in some women, cramps are debilitating. When I had my kid, the first 8 or 9 hours of labor hurt less than my average cramps. That everyone deals with it differently. Not all want ice cream. And it can change cycle by cycle.